Also, just a little heads up, this video might be like unscripted because I can't be bothered to write a painful script. It's just a little bit too much and it's gonna take forever, so please bear with me. So, funny story actually. Way before I created this AU, like say 2019 to 2020, I actually created, well, would I call this an OC? This was just kind of a self-insert slash OC that would ship themselves with Axol. They would be the main pair of the said universe. Hell, I even plan to make an arc about it. An arc we will never ever discuss about. Anyways, if you guys have been following me on DeviantArt for a long while, you may have seen me draw this said character together with Axol. And if you guys saw the very first video of this AU, I actually explained the OC, or G as I called them. So today, I will be revealing this said character to the universe, among many others. And their name is GalaxZii. Yes, I know, cringy name. I couldn't really think of another normal name for her, to be honest, and this was just kind of the one that stuck with me, and it just, I don't know, gives me a nice feeling to it, since I had her for so long. GalaxZii was originally just my self-insert to be shipped with Axol, cause I don't know if y'all know this yet, but I love Axol, like a lot more than just my biggest comfort character. I even made a ship name for them, which is Axol. I know the ship name, it doesn't match, but it sounds pretty okay. I made this name when I was bloody 13, alright? But now GalaxZii is no longer my self-insert, and instead her very own character with her own personality and backstory. I also did say I will be revealing 2 other original characters into this AU, so I will also get into them as well. I hope you guys enjoy and like what I have in store for you. I wanted to go an extra mile and have a go of what her concept art would look like in SMG4 style, so I just kind of basically copied a mix of Maggie's and Melanie's body proportions from their concept designs. Honestly, drawing her felt really nice. She was a character that I used to refer to just to be together with Axol before he fell in love with Melanie. She used to be just a persona or a mascot for myself, but just now creating her as her own character and her own personality and backstory and morals, it made her, well, more alive. I really do adore GalaxZii a lot, and I can't wait to use her for the AU. While her character looks really innocent, her backstory was never really the nicest. And, well, this is the part where I kind of like get a little bit unscripted, so bear with me. I know this may sound odd, but her character was actually originally a sea bunny when she was younger. I know it's like odd, but this was a debate of myself when I was younger, of like if she wanted to be a wolf, if I wanted her to be a wolf or a sea bunny. But then I have a genius idea of, you know, like making the sea bunny when they were younger, but a wolf as an adult. I don't know, I had a kind of a creative mind when I was younger, and I just decided to roll with it. So to like make this make sense, the mother was actually a sea bunny though from Ingopolis, and the father was a wolf. So originally, GalaxZii was born in Ingopolis as a sea bunny at first, but how it came to be is rather kind of like a dark one. So the mother actually was not interested in the father, the wolf, and the wolf father basically is kind of like the quote-unquote nice guy of the situation. And then even though the mother gave clear signs of not being interested, the father didn't want to take the hint, and then he forced himself on her and getting her pregnant, unfortunately, from the result. And the mother did not regret having GalaxZii at all, really. She is like, as soon as GalaxZii was born and out of the hospital, she had full custody of GalaxZii and made sure the father had a lifetime sentence in jail. So That's why, like, when she gets older, she gets the form from her father. GalaxZii, at a young age, she understood why she never had a father. The mother kind of gave her, like, a clear explanation when she first asked where her dad is. And she kind of, like, is okay with that because GalaxZii kind of, like, really does despise her father for what she did. But she does her best to be, like, I would say, she's always happy and, like, is, like, cheery. And now that dark stuff out of the way, let's go on with her, time with Axol. So, during her times around, like, before she met Axol, she, like, just used to be, like, friendly around the Inklings around there. She was never really, like, a sporty type of, like, that does the, Splatfest and stuff. She just likes to hang around with the guys. So then, one time when she was hanging around with those, Inklings, and then when they're playing a game of, like, tag or just, like, rough housing, GalaxZii, actually, ran past Axol, who was drawing, and since, like, she's, like, also an artist kid herself, so she came over to see what Axol was doing, who was obviously drawing anime. And since everyone in Ikopolis hates anime, she's the one of the few who actually likes it, so she got interested in it really quickly. And since Axol never really had any friends, he got a little nervous. But then he started to warm up, and then eventually they became friends. But also, unfortunately, they've also been the target of bullying from Inklings. But GalaxZii always, like, stood up for Axol. Or should I say, an enemy? Because, when she was a child, of course, GalaxZii wouldn't suit right for, like, her being a sea bunny, so I gave her the name An Enemy, so then that would make sense. And GalaxZii actually being her middle name originally. So then, GalaxZii and, Axol, in childhood, they became good friends, like, really good friends, like, best friends. And then, she was, like, there for him every step of the way, and even, like, helped him with the bullying and stuff like that. And then, like, she was also there when Axol, made his Inkweaver. And you know how, like, in, cartoons or movies or things like that, with those, like, classic friendship things, they always have something to remember each other by? Like, a little, like, handshake or, like, a little object that they remember by? Well, GalaxZii and Axol took a photo of, that moment, just them being happy. So then, like, that's something to remember by. I won't go, like, too much into detail about their backstory now, but, I'll just get you guys to the main details, since, I don't know what else to talk about, to be honest. And then, after that, like, long story short, the bullying got a bit intense, ended up with the Inklings breaking Axol's Inkweaver one time. GalaxZii gets pissed. She, offed the Inklings. That made Axol scared, ran away, never seen each other for, like, a few years or so, 9 years to be exact. And then, they met during the anime arc. It's a bit of a complicated one to explain now, and since I don't want to make this too long, let's just get over to the design of GalaxZii, alright? Alright, cool. Drawing GalaxZii was actually really nostalgic because I gave her this design for years. Like, literally years. And, it's always, like, kind of easy to do, and it's really nice to do, actually. And, for this one, I actually made, like, a few changes on her. If you guys seen my DeviantArt, I added a little things on GalaxZii, which was, most noticeably, giving her the stars on her hair. But the thing is, oddly enough, this, the SMG4 version of GalaxZii, is actually the old design of my actual version of GalaxZii, my OC, for her main universe. But I want to, like, separate SMG4 GalaxZii to my actual OC GalaxZii. So I removed the stars in her hair, but I left the stars on her tail. I wanted to remove it entirely, but then I was gonna I left it in there because I want to make the name GalaxZii make some sense. So then well, I know there's been a bit too much girls in the added to the cast. Melanie. But but what, a little more couldn't hurt, right? I hope not. Anyways, with her character, she's consists of cool tone colors, because I just realized in the SMG4 AU there wasn't really any colors that are coded purple. And even though even what looks like her main color it seems to be an aqua, her main color is actually purple. And I know there might be some questions about the wings on where they are, but just please bear with me. I had this character for years, and it doesn't feel right with just not giving her any wings. Actually, I should explain why she has that, because I realized that I never really given GalaxZii any type of role in the SMG4 universe. If you look at the characters, each of the characters have a role in them, Maggie being the badass yet trouble type of character. Same with Melanie, the Canon Melanie, but she's a fucking ripoff, so she doesn't count. Psycho being the badass, actual psychotic badass. Tari being the gamer nerd, the shy gamer nerd. Boopkins being the innocent child of the friend group. I wouldn't say innocent, but still, I stand my point. Shumi being the organized leader, and Bob being the lovable asshole, and something like that. GalaxZii is just kind of a regular normal person, I guess. I guess the only thing I can give to her that's stands out from the others is that she can fly from her wings. Don't ask how or why she has the wings. I guess she got them from the father or shit like that. I don't know. Anyways, I can't wait to use her, actually. I know there isn't much to go on about her, but I can't really fully explain her backstory yet, otherwise it kind of be a bit of a big spoiler. But if you guys want to hear more about her, then let me know, because I'll make a community post about her, because I'll be okay with sharing with her and what her backstory is in her personality and lore. Next up of our OCs, they are actually antis of both GalaxZii and Axol for the YouTube arc. I would like you to introduce to Sal the Salamander and Jack the Jackal. Or rather, Jack the Dog for now. Jack would be the anti of GalaxZii, and Sal will be the anti of Axol. You know what I found upsetting? I never understood how Axol wasn't with the crew for the YouTube arc. Sure, SMG4 is only including the crew from the original banner, which doesn't have Axol in it, but isn't Axol part of the SMG4 team as well? And no, him being in the internet graveyard does not count. His personality and character was completely demolished, and I am absolutely upset about it. So I want to give Axol's time to shine a YouTube arc by giving him his anti along with GalaxZii's. So about Sal and Jack. First off, Sal is Axol's anti, and his species is a salamander to match the animal kingdom of Axol. Sal is a northern red salamander and is a trans male who holds a super big ego and is generally snarky. His specialty, in contrast to Axol, is that he can do art. However, admittedly, it's pretty bad. Due to Sal's ego, he thinks his art is better than everyone else's, even Axol's, when really Sal's art is just from traced how to draw manga and admittedly no effort. I wanted to give Sal more of a not stylish attire, but I also want to make it look like Sal gave some effort. I will explain more about Sal's backstory and why his art isn't the greatest, and it's for a reason. Now on to Jack. Jack is of course GalaxZii's anti, and his species is a dog. I originally made Jack as a jackal, which is a type of canine species. However, I decided to change it up last second for him to be a dog. to put some inclusion in. Although I still gave Jack the more triangular ears, so it's more of an anti to GalaxZii. I might change later on to normal dog ears in the future if I ever draw him again. Jack is all rough, rumble, and tumble, and is unfortunately very poor, so he's very messy and dirty. I wanted to give Jack more of the poor, rough, tumble clothing and very scruffy, so I hope it looks alright. Jack's specialty is to dig, and has more of an advantage in close ground combat, and he can use his digging as a specialty to attack, and also contrasts to GalaxZii as her specialty is to fly, which is above ground, and Jack's specialty is kinda need to using ground or even below ground. His personality is very hyper, annoying, and admittedly pretty stupid. Also, I just realized that Jack is the only furry in the entirety of the SMG4 characters. Now onto their depressing backstories. Yes, I know I'm giving too many characters depression and trauma, but hey, I want to give some characters more backstories, so... trauma. Just like GalaxZii's, their backstories and lives weren't the greatest, nor easy. First off with Sal. Sal was never really regarded highly and has always tried hard to prove himself. He was kind of the nobody who anyone barely notices, including his family, but he only has an aunt who doesn't really give any care at all. One day, he saw a classmate present an art piece, which made them popular and gained lots of attention. Sal got then inspired to do his own art so he could be popular and finally recognized. However, Sal is just a beginner in art, but he really tried his best in it. Just like the horrible side of the art community, people say his art sucked, but he now didn't listen to any of the critiques or criticisms since he just assumed people are just being their typical judgmental selves. Sal basically faced hate all his life, so this was kind of his breaking point. Sal developed his ego, becoming cold and snarky, thinking his art is better than everyone else's. He hides off his insecurities, and deep down he just wants everyone to appreciate his hard work in his art. However, due to his ego and cold nature, it made him come off as a show-off and a jerk. Now onto their depressing backstories. Yes, I know I'm giving too many characters depression and trauma, but hey, I want to give some characters more backstories, so... trauma. Just like GalaxZii's, their backstories and lives weren't the greatest, nor easy. First off with Sal. Sal was never really regarded highly and has always tried hard to prove himself. He was kind of the nobody who anyone barely notices, including his family, but he only has an aunt who doesn't really give any care at all. One day, he saw a classmate present an art piece, which made them popular and gained lots of attention. Sal got then inspired to do his own art so he could be popular and finally recognized. However, Sal is just a beginner in art, but he really tried his best in it. Just like the horrible side of the art community, people say his art sucked, but he now didn't listen to any of the critiques or criticisms since he just assumed people are just being their typical judgmental selves. Sal basically faced hate all his life, so this was kind of his breaking point. Sal developed his ego, becoming cold and snarky, thinking his art is better than everyone else's. He hides off his insecurities, and deep down he just wants everyone to appreciate his hard work in his art. However, due to his ego and cold nature, it made him come off as a show-off and a jerk. Now with Jack. Jack had a very hard upbringing. His family is very poor and dirty, and his father was very abusive towards Jack. Jack never went to school, and when Jack was 12, his father kicked him out. Luckily, Jack was able to go to his grandma's house, and she basically gave him all the love and care he needed. Although Jack does visit his dad on some days, but the father never changed from his old ways. There's more depth for both Jack and Sal, but I don't want to make this too big and give unneeded information and development, so I'll keep this short. To finish off with these two, I just colored in Sal and Jack. With their friendship with each other, think of them as an old elderly couple who bicker, with Jack being more of the annoying and Sal being like Holy crap, you are 5 seconds away from being socked in the face right now if you don't shut the fuck up. And to add the finishing touches, these two are gay for each other. Yes, these two are both gay and are together. They're basically an old elderly couple who bicker and fight but can't stand being apart. And here they are. Axol's and GalaxZii's anti, Sal the Salamander and Jack the Jackal or Dog. I'm super happy to finally show you guys the characters that'll be included in the SMG4 AU. I can now finally upload them and post art about it, and now you all know the context. Anyways, I had a lot of fun drawing these three, and I'm looking forward to using them when I finally make some development in the SMG4 Totally Canon AU episodes, especially GalaxZii. Well, let's see what happens to the next upload for the SMG4 development later on in the future. For now, shine bright, Starshines!